Let's give a warm Elevate Daytona Beach welcome to Kaitlin Healy.
Good evening, Elevate Daytona Beach. How are you tonight? Georgia knows this. How are you doing tonight? There we go. Very good. I appreciate your crowd involvement. So I have to ask two questions. I need a show of hands. Raise your hand if you've ever worked in or you've ever owned a business. Okay, looking good. Hands down. Question number two. Raise your hand if you're a human being. Okay, if you didn't raise your hand, please seek medical attention. I ask this question because I hear all the time, it's business, it's not personal. And I don't agree with that. So in January, I decided to become a business coach. And I spend a lot of time evaluating businesses and trying to understand what does it take to be a business that's undeniable, it's recognizable, something that's gonna be a legacy, that's gonna make a journey down the road. And what I'm starting to see, the trend, is that a lot of times people are entrepreneurs, they're creators, they start working in a business. But what happens oftentimes is they get swept up in that, and then they fail to also work on their business. And so when I decided to become a coach, I thought I need some tools, I need to get a certification. I partnered with an organization called System and Soul because I read the founder's book and I realized he gets it. Business is not one-dimensional, it is two dimensions. It is the systems and the soul of a business working together. So when we talk about systems, we're talking about your operational playbook. We're talking about your products or services. We're talking about the commitment to your customer. Perhaps you have a board of directors or some investors that you need to, be responsible to. But then there's also this soul. It is the intangible system of your culture, of how you treat people, of dignity and respect. And if we aren't balancing our business, things are gonna go a little awry. So I went out for coffee with this gentleman, Jim, shout out to Jim, and started talking to him about, I got this certification, I wanna coach, how do I explain this to people in a way that they're gonna get it? And I came up with this idea of the cart and the horse. And so one more crowd participation. Raise your hand if you've ever heard, don't put your cart before the horse. Okay, good. This is gonna be a good talk then. Excellent. So, and we've all made that mistake. We've, thought about planning the wedding on Pinterest before we've gotten the man, but maybe in, maybe it's a little me, but maybe in a business, we have bought a major shipment of a product, but we have not confirmed that there is even a market demand or need, or we've promoted someone without getting an evaluation from their team. So I'm confused. This idiom, don't put the cart before the horse, has been around since 1589, and yet why are people still putting the cart before the horse? And so I want us to explore in these next few moments whether or not as business leaders you're gonna spend time looking cool, playing it safe, or are you gonna be a disruptor? Otherwise, I think you're gonna get eaten for lunch and your legacy isn't gonna make the next journey through these next coming decades. So I want us to talk about some of the culture dynamics that are lurking in your business or your nonprofit or your personal relationship right now and what you can do to identify them, and then maybe some ideas on how to approach them. So the first thing we see oftentimes, I'm guilty of this myself, sweeping things under the rug. A lot of people want to avoid conflict. They have a fear of conflict. And when we avoid these conversations, it's I didn't reply to that email, oh my God, we lost a client. But something so much greater is at play. If we can't have those conversations, we really don't feel comfortable reaching out for help and saying, I'm not doing good. This year in April, I lost a friend to this battle. I've thought about those things too. Didn't feel like I could talk to my workplace. I buried my own head in the sand. I then took a leave of absence from work, and 2 months upon my return, I was terminated. And it was devastating, but it was the pivot in my life. We also are hearing a lot about this conflict and fear of AI coming and stealing our jobs. What's gonna happen? Are you creating an environment where instead of avoiding AI, are you embracing it in your business? Or are you creating an environment where people are saying, I'm already worried, so I'm gonna choose to leave myself? Or are you also thinking about whether or not people want these jobs even in the first place. In terms of resignation as well, Microsoft and LinkedIn did a study with 31,000 professionals globally, and of that population, 46% decided, I don't want to quit my job, I am leaving my job this year. Resignation 2.0 is upon us. And the last major departure of the workforce is the silver tsunami. Our baby boomers are exiting the workforce in droves, rightfully so. They've worked very hard, but with them goes a fleet of institutional knowledge. Are you creating an environment in your business where both mentorship yet innovation can coexist? Or are the generations in conflict with one another? And so I want you to think about some of these things that I've chosen to share with you, and to think, am I creating an environment where when I see that person who is usually bright and cheery, they haven't been the same lately, can I reach out in an HR-friendly way and say, how's it going? Is there something that's been on your mind that you'd like to share with me or share with someone else on the team? And in all, I just want you to think about, are you reaching out and creating community and culture that you are proud to be a part of, where you're going to buy your team lunch, or are you going to be lunch? Thank you.